Hello, hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Jane Obi. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about 5 things you should do between 20 and 30. It's easier to go through the ages of 1 up to 16 to 20, and then once you're 20, it looks like things are moving so fast and there's no time for you to even understand what's happening. So if you're between 20 and 30, here are 5 things you should do very importantly. Number one is build a relationship with God. Truth is, in your teenage, you're trying to understand yourself, and sometimes you may understand yourself in bits. By the time you're 20, you feel you should be more responsible for your actions. When you're younger, when you're a teenager, you yes, you try to be responsible. However, your parents can cover up for you in some things, like you're not fully under the law. Once you're 18 and you're 20, once you're from 18 upwards, so when you're 20, you're responsible for everything you do. Like, you have to face the law if you default. So one thing you can do is to know God for yourself, so that you can start to build up values, build up principles that will take you through. So starting early to know God for yourself is very important. Aside the teaching you get in church, sit with the word. Sit with the word. Ask God questions. Meditate on the word. Build your own understanding of who God is for you. Yes, you definitely listen to people talk. Listen to your pastors. Listen to your teachers. Listen to your priests. But it's important that you know God for yourself. Number two thing you should do between your 20s and 30, between 20 years and 30, is to write down your values. Write down the values you want to keep for yourself, because the 20s to 30s are very important. And if you're not, there's a tendency for you to be confused and wavering and not certain about what to do. And before you get yourself, you're about 30, you're in your mid 20s, you're in your late 20s. And by then, there may be some mistakes you've made already. So if you're in your early 20s, and if you're still in your teens, these are things you should start to do. Write values that you want to build on, and why you want to hold on to those values. Because trust me, the storm will come. The temptations will come to let go of those values. And so when you write down these values, understand why you want to stick to them. And no matter what happens, you've built that foundation already and you're going through. Number three thing you want to do in your early 20s is to ensure you write down who you want to be. Now, one thing is, your life is already programmed from your 1 year to your, say, 18, 20, because you're in school all through. So by 20, most people are out of school. Yes, now most people are out of school. Most people have even done their NYSC, but those are in Nigeria. And then it's now the plan you have for yourself, like the vision you have for yourself, the vision God has given you, the purpose for your life. That is when you start to live it through, because there is no format again. So if you don't have a plan, then everything is going to look confusing. So now is the time to write down the plan that you have. Have your plan A, have your plan B, have your plan C. Yes, because the truth is, sometimes it may not work out the way you wrote it, the way you planned it. That's why also you need to know God for yourself and know how God speaks to you. So when you write out this plan, think through it. One thing you can do for yourself is to think through those plans. Think through the plans and know what you want, so that you can start to align with those plans. Number four thing you should do in your 20s, in your early 20s, is to start to get to understand who you want to be your spouse, the kind of spouse that you want. Because trust me, friends will come, relationship will come. People would ask you out if you're a lady. Even guys, ladies ask guys out. Definitely, there's that pressure to want to be in a relationship. And trust me, if you don't know the kind of person you want to be with, you would start to make mistakes in relationships. And now, one thing that has begun to happen now is people define relationships with sex. Yes, most people see that, oh, once you're in a relationship with somebody, you have to be sleeping with that person. That's very wrong. That's very wrong. So you have to know who you want to be your spouse, so that when people are asking you out, when people are coming around you, you know that this is not the person I want. And you're not tempted, you're not pushed, because you know what you want. People in the world are so much for you to now, stay with somebody that does not align with what you want. Do you understand? So when you get to know who you want, it will help you to know the kind of relationship you want to keep. Most times, I had somebody that told me that, oh, her friend's daughter is 19, she's in school, she doesn't have a boyfriend, she wants her to taste. I told her, now, what you should be telling that your friend now, that's the mother to the girl, is to help her understand the kind of man she wants. It's not about jumping, it's not about I'm dating this guy, I'm having a boyfriend. If you don't know who you want, you definitely make mistakes. So, the fifth thing you should do in your 20s is to build network. Build a network of friends. No, it mustn't be so large. At least start when you know yourself, when you start to know the kind of friends you want to have. I mean, same sex friend, because it's important to have that homebody, that person you can always express yourself with. Yeah, there's a lot about friendship anyway. However, it helps to know that there's somebody, because that's one of the things that pushes people to start dating people when they don't want to. Because they feel this person has shown them love, and then they start pointing out themselves that person, such that when there's a breakup, it's crazy. It's crazy. So when you start to look at people and start to define, okay, is this person worth, staying long term with? Then you start to at least have that network with somebody, have that closeness. It really helps. Friendship really helps. There's a book I'm reading, Attached. I'm going to be reviewing very soon. It tells us that once you have that one person you can be 100% with, it's like you and the person against the world. So it's somebody that you can pray with, your prayer partner, your reading partner. It helps you to build your own confidence, so that when you're going out to the world to face things, you know that there's somebody. There's somebody. It could be your parents, it could be your mom, it could be your dad. If it's not your parents, then I tell my husband that for some people, their family are their friends, and for some people, their friends are their family. Do you understand? Some people, their family members are the friends that they have. For some people, their family are not really their friends, so they've made their friends their family. Do you understand? So it helps to have that closeness, at least to one or two people. It really helps in life. Yeah. Then the next thing that is important for you to know to do in your 20s is to know yourself for you. That's understand who you are. Like, have conversations with yourself. Be your own friend. Have time to analyze things. Like, tell yourself the truth about them. Truth. Some people are scared of themselves. Some people don't like to have conversations with themselves. But if you start to build yourself to have that conversation in your early 20s, because that's when you have to sit up. You have to sit up and face life. If you're done with school, your parents expect you to go out, get a job, this, that, this, that. So that's when you need really face life as it is. So it's important to know you for you. Sometimes go on a retreat, think about, look around, look at yourself, and have discussions with yourself. Another thing you should do in your early 20s is to gather. This one is for people that are still in school. I think I'll do a separate video on that. Gather experiences while in school, save up while in school, so that once you're done with school, even while in school, you can start to try out, certain things that you should do to get money to help yourself, gather your experience. Another important thing for you to do in your early 20s is to learn discipline. Learn discipline. Learn to discipline your flesh. Learn to create a routine, form an habit for yourself. Tell yourself that in the morning I'll do this, in the afternoon I'll do this, like, have a timetable for yourself. One thing about starting early is that it becomes part of you. If you start to do certain things early, it becomes part of you. And if you start to do it early and intentionally, so that's what I'm talking about your 20s. Your 20s is when you really, 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 you want to say 18, fine. But in your 20s, you're really fully responsible. Expectations are high, even from yourself. So you need to be intentional about that period of your life, because that is your own foundation. And if you don't have that, if you're not intentional about those years, they would fly past, and before you know it, you're 30 and you start to ask yourself, what did I do? Adulthood not scam. That's not true. It's because you're not thinking. It's because you didn't pay attention to what you were supposed to do it, because you're not intentional about your life in those times. So please, 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 you have to sit up in your 20s. If you're in school, you also have to sit up and put yourself together, plan your life so that as things are working out, even when things are not working out, you find a way, things find a way to align themselves for you. The word of God says that all things work together for the good of those that love God and do his will. So if you have a plan, you present it to God, definitely pray about it. All of these things are encompassed in this video that I've just put together. Once you do all of these things, your 20s would not be as unplanned as they seem to be. So if you like this video, make sure to click the like button, share, and subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you.